Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn plant virus structure and composition. This is our second lecture in the course Plant Virology. So let us start the lecture. So one definition here by Luria in the year 1953. The definition of a virus was given like this. Viruses are submicroscopic entities capable of being introduced into specific living cells and of reproducing inside such cells only. So, here two important characteristics of viruses are given. Number one, viruses are submicroscopic, that is, they cannot be seen with compound microscope, they can be seen only with electron microscope. So, this is the time when viruses were already seen under electron microscope starting from 1939 with tobacco mosaic virus. And the second character given here is in the second part of the definition, that is, viruses can reproduce inside living cells only. So viruses are obligate parasites. So the definition of a virus here reflects the amount of information known at that time to the plant virologist. So they define plant viruses with these two properties, two characteristics only. Now see the size comparison of plant pathogens. Here, this is a nematode, head of nematode. It is quite big. It is inside a plant cell here. So this is one plant cell and this is the size of nematode head. And here you have fungus hyphae, okay, a part of mycelium. And fungus mycelium here is here inside the plant cell. This is protozoa, another plant pathogen. This is your bacterium, though bacteria do not live inside the cell, but to compare the sizes, bacterium is here. And see the molecules, the phytoplasmas and the spiroplasmas. Then we have a number of viruses here. And then viroids. Viroids are the smallest disease causing agents. Smallest disease causing agents. Say in this picture, they appear just like dots. But the virus is a beet yellows virus. In fact, this is the largest or longest plant virus known, belonging to genus Clostridovirus. So beet yellows virus is the longest. Then comes tobacco mosaic virus, wheat striped mosaic virus, and then tobacco necrosis satellite virus, the smallest known plant virus, which is about 17 nanometer in diameter. Now compare these virus sizes with the hemoglobin molecule. Hemoglobin molecule is here. Hemoglobin is the protein molecule which is present in the blood that makes our blood red. So this is the size comparison of all the pathogens. So viruses are submicroscopic, they can be seen only under electron microscope. So this is the point I wanted to emphasize. And then here again viruses are here. Viruses are here. So in this range, so they can be seen under electron microscope only and also through X-ray crystallography. In our first lecture, we have seen that many virus structures were determined using X-ray crystallography. Okay. Now here also we see that the viruses are here. Then you have bacteria here, plant cell, animal cell, and so on. Pox virus, of course, it is not a plant virus. Then you have proteins. So just after viruses, so size of the virus is comparable to ribosomes here. Ribosomes are the important cell component where proteins are synthesized. Then we have protein and then small molecules and finally atoms. Okay, so size comparison of viruses with other microscopic entities. Then in the year 1981 we get a bigger definition of a virus. So as the volume of information increased about virus, the definition also got bigger. So by the year 1981, when many things were known to the plant virologist, like even when the sequencing of plant viral genome, RNA or DNA genome was done by this time, and the complexities of a plant virus were somewhat known to plant virologists. So, with the information available to them, they defined and they accepted a definition of a plant virus, which is like a set of one or more nucleic acid template molecules. So, it says that a virus can have one or more nucleic acid molecules, normally encased in a protective coat or coats of protein or lipoprotein, which is able to organize its own replication only within suitable host cells. So, this part, able to organize its own replication only within suitable host cells, so this remains. So, in the first definition, also we see this part, see this property. Within such cells, virus production is number A, dependent on the host protein synthesizing machinery. So, within living cells, the virus reproduction depends on the host protein synthesizing machinery. Host, that means a plant here, it synthesizes protein by using ribosomes. So, here these host ribosomes are used by virus for its own reproduction. Then, number B, organized from pools of the required materials rather than by binary fission. So the virus reproduction is not binary fission type. Binary fission is a mode of reproduction of bacteria. So here they try to differentiate bacterial reproduction from virus reproduction. So here the virus reproduction is not of binary fission type. Okay. So in fact this virus reproduction occurs through assembly mechanism. That is, we know that viruses are nucleoproteins. They have nucleic acid and which is covered by a coat of protein, that is capsid. Now these nucleic acid molecules are replicated inside the host cell. Protein molecules are also synthesized inside the host cell by using host ribosomes, and these proteins and the replicated nucleic acid molecules, they assemble. So virus reproduction is different from bacterial reproduction, and virus reproduction occurs at sites which are not separated from the host cell contents by a lipoprotein bilayer membrane. So virus reproduction occurs inside the host cell, and the location or the site where reproduction occurs is not separated by any lipoprotein or bilayer membrane from the other host cell contents. So this is the definition which reflects the amount of knowledge that was available to the plant virologist at that time. So that was the definition given by Matthews in 1981. So this is a well accepted and popular definition, and this encompasses many properties of plant virus. Now let us have a look at the plant viruses and different types depending on the type of genome and then other properties. So here we already know that ICTV is one apex body of virus taxonomy, and it keeps giving reports periodically. So its first report was given in the year 1971. We know that ICTV was established in the year 1966, and it was renamed. In fact, the first name was International Committee on Nomenclature of Viruses. That was the name with which it was established in 1966. Later on in 1973, its name was changed to ICTV, International Committee on Taxonomy of Viruses. So its first report was given in the year 1971, and the 10th report was in the year 2017. But in the 7th report of ICTV, which was published in 2000, we get a number of families and genera of viruses, and we get to see all the viruses here. And please look at the diagram here: DNA viruses and RNA viruses. And we have a lot of things to decipher from this image. So DNA viruses, we have only a few DNA viruses here, and majority of the plant viruses are RNA type. See here, most of them are RNA type. And the DNA viruses, among DNA viruses, we have double-stranded DNA viruses, dsDNA. For example, Colimoviridae. Colimoviridae is a family, virus family. Under this, we have a genus called Colimovirus, cauliflower mosaic virus. Then we have rice tungro bacilliform virus, RTBV, rice tungro bacilliform virus. So these are double-stranded DNA viruses. Then single-stranded DNA virus. We have Gemini viridae family. Under this, we have mastery virus, cartovirus, begomovirus, and then nanovirus. So they all have single-stranded DNA. Okay. Then RNA virus. Most of the plant viruses are RNA viruses, and among RNA viruses we have double-stranded RNA genome and also single-stranded RNA genome. So this box indicates the number of plant viruses with double-stranded RNA genome. Reoviridae is a family under which we have some genera, and Partitiviridae is another family under which we have some genera. So these genera have double-stranded RNA as genome. All right. Then we have single-stranded RNA. So we see that majority of the plant viruses have single-stranded RNA as the genome. Single-stranded RNA as the genome. And again, among single-stranded RNA genomes, we have two types. One is minus type, another is plus type. So minus sense single-stranded RNA genome and plus sense single-stranded RNA genome. Under minus sense single-stranded RNA genome, we have these examples: Rhabdoviridae. Rhabdoviridae is a family under which we have many genera. So this is one, Rhabdoviridae. Rhabdo means rod or bullet shape. So that is the reason. So the virus particle has a bullet shape. So it is called as Rhabdoviridae family. Then Bunniaviridae. Under this we have Tospovirus, tomato spotted wilt virus. So this is also minus sense single-stranded RNA as the genome. So these viruses, a few viruses have the single-stranded RNA minus sense genome. Then single-stranded RNA plus sense genome. Majority of them are here. So if we want to say very specifically that majority of the plant viruses have which type of genome, then the answer will be majority of the plant viruses have single-stranded plus sense RNA genomes. Under that we have many families: Sequiviridae, Bromoviridae, Comoviridae, and then many genera here. Okay, so we have many shapes as well. We have icosahedral shape, we have rod shape with many particles. So rod shape with one particle is tobacco virus, that is tobacco mosaic virus. Many particles, say two particles, tobra virus, tobacco rattle virus. Then we have rod shape but three particles, hordi virus. Okay, then so on. So these are all rod shaped. Now we have helical shape. Okay, helical shape. So this is helical shape like Potex virus. Then this is also helical shape. This is also helical shape. This is Potty virus. This is longer in size. Then this is the longest, that is Closteroviridae. Closteroviridae. This is the longest helical one, and it has single-stranded RNA plus sense as genome. Now, under Closteroviridae, we have B. teolos virus, Citrus tristigia virus. So these are some examples of viruses under Closteroviridae which have helical structure. So now what is this plus sense and minus sense? When we say that the genome of a plant virus is plus sense, that means that single-stranded RNA molecule which is there as a genome it acts as mRNA directly. So when this RNA molecule enters the host cell, that RNA molecule directly acts as mRNA and it codes for protein. So it is called plus sense RNA. And the minus sense RNA, it does not act as mRNA directly when it gets into the host cell. In fact, from this minus sense RNA, plus sense RNAs are formed, and from there we get proteins synthesized, which are required for virus. So this diagram speaks a lot about plant viruses. So we'll get to know about all these in our subsequent topics, and also a part of it in this lecture. So host properties influence the virus types. So we have some common properties. We have some general comments to make about virus types and the host infected. Say vertebrates have broad range of viruses. Plants have mostly small RNA viruses. So these are the general comments that one can make about viruses. So the viruses which infect plant, they are mostly of RNA type that we have seen in the previous slide. Fungi have mostly double-stranded RNA viruses. Okay, so double-stranded RNA viruses are there in fungi. Then single-celled organisms have mostly large double-stranded DNA viruses. So bacteria are single-cell organisms. Bacteria are attacked by viruses. Those viruses are called as phage or bacteriophage. The most of the phages have large double-stranded DNA as the genome. So here we get to know the types of genome in various hosts. So viruses attack most of the organisms. Almost all the organisms are attacked by viruses. So vertebrates have broad range of viruses. Plants have mostly small RNA viruses. Fungi have mostly double-stranded RNA viruses. And the single-cell organisms have double-stranded DNA viruses. So there are some virus-like agents which are classified and studied with viruses, and these are viroids. Viroids are the entities which are smaller than virus, which have no code protein even, and they have no coding capacity. So basically, viroids are small, single-stranded, naked RNA molecules. So in this course also, we will discuss a lot about viroids, their classification, their replication, and the diseases caused by them, along with other properties. Prions. Prions are the pathogens which have no nucleic acid. Prions are the infectious protein molecules. They are known to infect animals only. Compared to viroids, viroids are the pathogens of plants only, whereas prions are the pathogens of animals only. Then we have retrotransposons. They have no infectivity. Now, the viruses which attack plant, so the plant viruses have some common properties. So these are all general properties. We have many exceptions to them. RNA. When the genome of a plant virus is of RNA type, then the genome length varies from 0.3 to 28 kb, kilobase. If the genome of the virus is DNA type, then the length of the genome varies from 3 to 10 kb. Only a few plant viruses are enveloped. Genome complexity is little. Morphological complexity is also little. And there are many viruses with divided genomes. That means those viruses have more than one nucleic acid molecules. But all these nucleic acid molecules which are there in the virus constitute the full genome of the virus. Then few more properties here about plant viruses. Loss due to plant viruses is often difficult to quantify, but they are often of great importance as plant pathogens. Though we know fungi are economically the most important plant pathogen. Viruses do not usually kill plants. viruses are obligate parasites. So they do not kill plants. If they kill plants, it will be suicidal for them. And the symptoms on plants are often subtle. Virus diseases of plants are not subject to chemical control. We cannot control virus diseases by any chemical. However, if the virus is insect transmitted, then we can kill the insect by using chemicals and stop the spread of the virus. Symptoms, serological and electron microscopic or molecular methods are used to identify plant viruses. Symptoms are not so reliable to identify, and serological techniques are mostly used to identify plant viruses. Electron microscopy is used to see plant viruses, how they are, what is their shape and size, and molecular methods which are currently being used to identify plant viruses. Then plant virus disease cycles often are dependent on vectors or alternate host because many plant viruses are vector transmitted, so the disease cycle is also dependent on vectors or alternate host. Now see the components of virus. We have already said this, all viruses have a protein coat or a protein shell or a protein cage that is called as capsid that surrounds the nucleic acid genome of the virus. So whatever be the shape of the virus, be it icosahedral or rod shape, the surrounding, the outer coat is made up of protein and that is called capsid. And inside the cage, inside the shell, we have nucleic acid molecule. It may be RNA or it may be DNA, but only one type, not both, either RNA or DNA. So if this is the capsid or protein coat, we have many protein molecules arranged, and each of these protein molecules is called as capsomere. Capsomere is one protein subunit in the capsid. So there may be hundreds of capsomeres making the coat protein or the coat or the capsid. So virus particles have covering and inner core. Okay. Now this covering, it may be made up of protein only, or there may be envelope, and this envelope is not found in all viruses. And what is there in the inner core? In the inner core we know it is nucleic acid genome. It may be either DNA or RNA. DNA may be single stranded or double stranded. If it is RNA, it may be either single stranded or double stranded. And in the inner core, we also have some proteins or enzymes. And here, all viruses do not have this. So, what is there in the inner core? Nucleic acid, DNA or RNA type, and there may be various proteins or enzymes. So, basically, we have two components of plant viruses. One is capsid, and the other is nucleic acid molecule. Now, see the virus structure in detail. See here, tobacco mosaic virus, which is rod shaped, and its nucleic acid molecule is inside the capsid in the inner core, and this nucleic acid molecule is helically arranged in interaction with the protein molecules. Similarly, in the icosahedron or spherical shaped plant viruses also, we have protein coats, and inside we have properly arranged nucleic acid molecule. So the viruses with helical symmetry, where tobacco mosaic virus is a typical well-studied example. It has a size of 18 nanometer in width and 300 nanometer in size. It is the most studied plant virus, so we know many things about tobacco mosaic virus. So each particle contains only a single molecule of RNA that we know already, and this RNA molecule is about 6.4 kb, 6.4 kilobase, or to be specific 6395 nucleotide residues, are there in the RNA molecule. Okay, so the nucleotide molecules, which are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil, these are 6,395 in number, and that makes the genome of the tobacco mosaic virus. And there are 2,130 copies of the coat protein subunits. So these are 2,130 in number altogether, and each capsomere or capsid protein subunit has 158 amino acids. So this capsomere, it has, since it is a protein molecule, it will have a chain of amino acids. And how many amino acids constitute this protein molecule? It is 158 amino acid molecules. Okay, and the size of this protein molecule is 17.3 kilodaltons. Kilodaltons. Now see here, the nucleic acid molecule is arranged properly in interaction with the protein molecules. Okay. Now, how this nucleic acid molecule is arranged properly? See here, we have 3 nucleotides per subunit. So in this subunit, in this length of RNA, there are 3 nucleotides. We have 3 nucleotides here, 3 nucleotides here, 3 nucleotides here. Okay. Now, just multiply this number of coat protein with 3 and you will get approximate number of nucleotide residues. Okay, we have on an average 3 nucleotides with each subunit in close interaction. Then per turn, one turn of nucleic acid, we have 16.33 subunits. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 1 here 16, and it is actually 16.3. 16.3 number of subunits are there in one turn of nucleic acid. Okay, so this much of detail we know about tobacco mosaic virus. Now thing is, tobacco mosaic virus protein subunits and the nucleic acid molecules, that is RNA molecules, will self-assemble in vitro in an energy independent fashion. That means if these protein subunits and the RNA molecules are separated and then they are kept together in vitro, then they will self assemble. So protein molecules will surround the nucleic acid molecule and a mature full virus particle will be formed in energy independent fashion. So we don't need any extraneous intervention, no energy is required for the assembly of the protein molecule with the nucleic acid. Self assembly also occurs in the absence of RNA. So if the protein molecules are there only, then the proteins will assemble together to form the virus particle, to form the capsid, but without nucleic acid. So without nucleic acid, TMV particles will not be infective. So without RNA also, the protein molecules can assemble. And the last point is there are 3 essential genes and there are some simple regulatory elements. So this RNA molecule, which acts as genome in the tobacco mosaic virus, it has essentially 3 genes. Because for virus to infect a plant, only 3 genes are essential, and these 3 genes are replication protein or replicase, movement protein, and coat protein. So these 3 are invariably present in all the plant viruses. Of course, some viruses have some extra genes, we'll see later. So here we have tobacco mosaic virus, and say this is our full RNA molecule, which is 6,395 nucleotide long. This is the 5' side, 5' end of the RNA molecule, and this is 3' end of the RNA molecule, and here we have a 5' cap, then we have replication gene here, movement gene here, and capsid gene here. So this gene will produce replication protein or replicase enzyme that will help the virus RNA to replicate inside the host cell. This gene will produce movement protein. This movement protein will help the virus to move from one cell to another through plasmodesmata. This gene, coat protein gene, it will produce coat protein, and this coat protein will assemble with the RNA molecule and produce a complete virus particle in the host cell, in the living cell. So this is typically a small RNA virus, tobacco mosaic virus, and these three are essential genes. Then the viruses with icosahedral symmetry or spherical viruses. Here, tomato bushistan virus is a typical well-studied example in this category. Here, each particle contains only a single molecule of RNA, which is of 4800 nucleotide long, which is smaller than tobacco mosaic virus. And there are 180 copies of the coat protein. This is again a fewer than tobacco mosaic virus. And each coat protein subunit has 387 amino acid, and it is 41 kilodalton in weight. And these viruses will self-assemble in vitro from protein subunits and nucleic acids in an energy independent fashion. So if the protein subunits and the nucleic acid molecules are kept separately, then they can self-assemble. Okay, so this is the icosahedral symmetry or cubic symmetry. So the structure of plant viruses, to put it in a summarized form, we have two categories, broad categories of plant viruses. One is anisometric or rigid or flexuous, and the other one is isometric or polyhedral or icosahedral or spherical. So these names, isometric, polyhedral, icosahedral, cubic, spherical, these are interchangeably used. So rod shaped. So all rods are helical in structure. The rod shaped viruses may be rigid rod or may be flexuous. Okay. So the rigid rods, under these rigid rods we have seen that tobacco mosaic virus is there, and we know the details of tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco rattle virus is also rigid rod, but it has two particles. Okay. Barley stripe mosaic virus belonging to Hordi virus group has at least three different types of particles. Okay. So rigid rods, it may be single particle or it may be many particles. Then comes flexuous rods. Such particles are not straight but show more or less bendings, marked bendings like Potex virus, Carla virus, Poti virus. So viruses with very flexuous particles are these Betiolose, citrus tristasia virus, and other members of clostridovirus group. So this is the longest virus here, clostridovirus. This is a group. Under this we have Betiolose and citrus tristasia virus. So we see the diagram again. So from here we get to know that these are all rod shaped virus with single particle, two particles, three particles. Here we have four particles also, but rod shaped, and we have flexuous like this one, Potex, Poti, and then clostridovirus. Isometric particles. These isometric or icosahedral virus particles are complex in their structure. An icosahedron is a polyhedron with 20 equilateral triangular faces. So we have isometric particles like tomato bushistan virus, turnip yellow mosaic, cowpea mosaic, brome mosaic, cucumber mosaic. So they all have isometric particles. Then virus particles with membranes, spherical or bullet shaped. Under spherical particles, we have tomato spotted wilt virus, which has about 70 nanometer diameter, and the membrane binding the particle is about 5 nanometer thick, which is composed of protein subunits. So bullet shaped particles also have this membrane. This group of plant viruses are of complex structure and architecture. For example, maize mosaic virus, potato yellow dwarf virus, and the membrane around the helical core is actually lipid. So here we get to see a virus which has lipid. So basically most of the viruses are nucleoprotein, but here some viruses have lipid like this potato yellow dwarf virus or maize mosaic virus. They have lipid in the membrane. Then geminate particles. Gemini viruses are unique plant pathogenic group of viruses having twin particles. So these are basically icosahedral, and when two icosahedrons are joined together we call them as Gemini virus or geminate particles, like tomato leaf curl, okra yellow vein mosaic, cotton leaf curl. So they are all geminate particles. So now we see the types of plant virus genomes. Though we said this in earlier slide with a diagram, now we see the plant virus genomes clearly here. Double-stranded DNA genome, we find this in cauliflower mosaic virus or columovirus group. Single-stranded DNA as genome, we find it in Gemini viruses, nanovirus, and also this banana bunchitov virus. Single-stranded RNA negative sense, we see this in a tomato spotted wilt virus. Single-stranded RNA positive sense, example is tobacco mosaic virus. In fact, most of the plant viruses are of this type, single-stranded RNA positive sense. Then double-stranded RNA, we have this as genome in case of wound tumor virus. Okay. In this course, we will get to know about many virus groups and the names of viruses, and sometimes we get confused or we find difficult to find answers to some questions like how the virus names were coined, the meanings of virus names. So here I tried to list out all the names, how they are coined, though it may not be exhaustive, but most of the virus names are covered here. So Tobamo virus, it means tobacco mosaic virus, how the name came. Okay, so you see the bold and italicized part of the name. So those bold and italicized parts have been joined together to make the name of the virus group. Now Tobamo virus, Alphamo virus, now these are all virus groups, and we also call them now as genera of plant viruses. Okay, yes, you heard it right. The virus names are given in terms of genus name and species names. I hope you remember that we discussed the binomial nomenclature in case of plant viruses. Some virologists attempted giving binomial nomenclature like Marmor tevasi or Minflexus solani. Now those names, those proposals were not accepted. Now the necessity has come to give genus and species name. Now these names, genus and species names are not binomial names. So virus genus name and species name do not follow Latin binomial system. So we have a different system of naming genus and species in case of viruses. So tobacco virus is a genus. Under this, tobacco mosaic virus is a species. Okay. Now in this we will only see how the names have originated. Okay. Now alphamovirus, alpha mosaic virus, badna virus, bacilliform DNA virus. Okay, begomo virus, bean golden mosaic virus, bunia viridi. Bunia viridi is a family. Okay, now it came from the name of a place in Uganda, Buniamware, a place in Uganda. Bimovirus, barley yellow mosaic virus, capillovirus, capillus means hair. So the shape of the virus is helical. It appears from here. Carla virus means carnation latent virus. Columovirus is cauliflower mosaic virus. Clostroviridae. Clostroviridae is a family. We have also a genus called Clostrovirus. Here, cluster means spindle or thread shape. We have seen that clostroviruses are very long, in fact, the longest, and they're thread like. So, the cluster means thread or spindle. Then, comovirus, cowpea mosaic virus, cucumovirus, cucumber mosaic virus, cartovirus, beet curly top virus, Fiji virus. Fiji is the name of a country, and the first sugarcane Fiji disease was reported from there. So the virus group has been named as Fiji virus. Furovirus, fungus-borne rot-shaped virus. Gemini virus. Gemini means twins. We see that two icosahedral particles are joined together to form a twin particle. So the name Gemini virus. Hordi virus. Hordium means barley. Since it infects barley, so the name Hordi virus. Ilar virus. Isometric labile ring spot. Okay. Luteovirus. Luteus means yellow. So they cause yellowing type of symptom. So luteovirus. Mastery virus. Mage streak virus. Partiti virus. Partitus means divided. So they have divided genomes. Potex virus, potato virus X, Rio viridi, it is again a family, respiratory enteric orphan, rhabdoviridi, it comes from the Greek word rhabdos, meaning rod or bullet shape. Rhinovirus, ryegrass mosaic virus, sequi viridi is a family again. Sequi means to follow. Okay, so here the transmission of the virus is dependent on helper. So that's why sequi. Sobemo virus, southern bean mosaic virus, tenui virus. It comes from Latin tenuis, means thin or weak. Tobra virus, tobacco rattle virus. Tombus viridi is a family again. Under this, we have a virus called tomato bushy stand virus. Then tospo virus, tomato spotted wilt virus. Tymo virus, turnip yellow mosaic virus. Waika virus, Japanese word. It comes from a Japanese word describing the symptom of rice tungro spherical virus. Rice tungro is a disease caused by two types of particles. One is rice tungro bacilliform virus and another is rice tungro spherical virus. Rice tungro bacilliform virus has double-stranded DNA as genome, whereas rice tungro spherical virus has single-stranded RNA as genome. So this is all about the virus composition and structure, and then some virus names and how they have originated. So this is the end of the lecture. If you have any query, you can write me in the comment box. So thank you very much.